All right, let's switch over to YurickYu here. So that
If
one's
we're cutting, if we're cutting top four, that and we're only playing one more round, that locks a top four slot, right?
that
If you're
should,
2-0?
yeah, I would think so. I would think 2-0 would lock a top 4 slot there.
Yeah, there's going to be 3 2-1s and 1 3-0,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 1-2s and the 0-3 are not going to make it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so switching over, since they had a little bit of a delayed start, this will be game 1 for YurickYu on the fancy Nixo tracking control deck against Illegalism. Illegalism going to play out Tokas here. YurickYu with a hand full of gas. Nice looking hand here. I'm going to see Illegalism has another Tokas, a Kairos, a Permafrost, and a Howling Peak in hand. With that nice alt art Kairos too.
Oh yeah. Huh.
All right, the Garden of Omens fire off the ice ball up there.
YurickYu also has one of the new cards in their hand with the Blitrock Linrise Listener. This is one of the invoke cards. There's only one invoke card for each faction. This is the primal one.
Gotta love that foil mythic too.
Yeah. What do you think the chances are that Yurik just opened this and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally playing this. This is gorgeous."
Just open the foil mythic and said, "I need to play it." All right.
Well, Yurik's going to resurface. You got resurface for Seek Power here, right? You just need to keep on hitting your power drops.
Yeah, I think so. It's never feels great to have to do that, but yeah, you got a lot of power in your hand, or you got a lot of expensive threats in your hand. Seems like a safe play.
Well, it's what I was talking about earlier about how power goes from being the worst card in your deck to the best card in your deck. Like right now, power is the best card that Yurick can draw, right?
You were right. Put some power off the top, especially with the Garden of Omens out at costing 0. Pretty huge.
Yep. A pitching Nijo. Don't need that one.
Yep.
Seek Power. Can't really assemble too. I guess YurickYu can play a Merchant here, and that's that'll protect the site.
The non-depleted power to get the Merchant down there.
But oh man, can Illegalism draw an undepleted power? No!
Not what he wanted. I really grabbing the knuckle bones from the market too. Not the undepleted power, though. Still going to be one away from Kairos. That's the story that we've seen tonight. 1 power away from really expensive threats.
I mean, Kairos costs 9. Have we seen a card be played for 9 consistently in ranked? I think the only cards that I can think of are Chains and Pit of Lenicta.
Yeah.
Are the cards that we've seen.
We saw Channel the Tempest a lot back when it was 8.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So but that it's 9 though.
Yeah, it cost 8.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have here? We could see a Howling Peak copying the Tokus. That's a pretty strong play, and it gets that 9th power.
Bad play here.
I think it's just a matter of figuring out which mode you want to use on this Howling Peak.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get the 9th power just by going Caleb's favor.
Howling Peak face, yeah. Well, it's one of those.
But what I always say with Howling Peak is if you can get the... Oh, wow, we're getting a twist here. Huh, this is interesting. Get the double block? Okay.
Just going to trade off the Tokas for 2 units. Okay.
All right. So what I always say with Howling Peak is if you can get that mirror image, that you should just go for it. Because a lot of the time when you're ahead with a Howling Peak, the only way you can lose is if you get your mirror image completely blown out. Mm-hmm. So I would have... to me, that spot seemed like a good opportunity to just copy Tokus.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway. I've got a pet deck and ranked with Ross, the Walking Glacier, and Howling Peak, and man, mirror imaging that it just feels amazing every time. Once you can mirror image a Ross, it's game over.
All right. He's got a lot of stuff in hand.
A lot of stuff in hand, and there's a Face Aegis. Not sure how impactful that's going to be here, but always good to have. And you're still at 25 with 7 power.
Well, we were talking about playing 9 drops, right? Yurick just went for the 10 drop.
Well, he just wants to get all of his foil mythics out here. For his foil legendaries on the board. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, well, I mean, Scourge of Frostdome is incredibly difficult to deal with, especially if YurickYu is at 25.
Now, he does have a Permafrost to deal with the body, but that's not going to stop not casting spells.
Yeah, it shuts off so much of the deck. There's power number 8, power number 9 already in hand. It is depleted,
And it
however.
really shuts off sights too. Those are all spells on your sights, so it shuts those off too.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. End of Days? Oh my goodness. End of Days needs tribute, and then you get to play 3 power. I think that if you can get tribute, I think End of Days is worth it just to just to get 3 more power, because Yurick's hand is just absolutely stacked. It's just a matter of playing these cards.
It really is.
But without tribute, only playing the power 1 at a time, I don't think it's quite worth it.
I mean, he's got an embarrassment of riches here. There's so many things he can do. Even has the reread to get back the Channel the Tempest.
Oh my goodness. Discard Nyxotraxian.
Just discard Nyxotraxian, yeah.
Well, there's no way for YurickYu to actually play the Nyxotraxian. It's just a random card attached with Market Fodder.
That's true.
Or Honor the Claws fodder. All right, here we go. Oh no, Howling Peak. Okay.
Okay, Howling Peak to take care of the 4/4. That's fine. YurickYu drawing the Joe because they needed another 8-drop and more card advantage.
Yeah, so if YurickYu just goes for this Channel the Tempest, which I think is not unreasonable, like Channel the Tempest, finish off the site. Illegalism does have that display in order to negate it. And that's a pretty big, that's a pretty big deal, taking out someone's entire turn with the 3-cost negate.
With this many cards in hand, do you want to fire off Channel the Tempest here and just be discarding?
Well, I mean, I'm not too concerned about hand size. Like, anytime you're discarding hand size, you're probably winning anyway. Or at least, like, it's not the discarding that's actually killing you when you discard to hand size.
Well, I mean, right there, firing off End of Days and what, discarding one or 2 power there. All right, can he get an Island's Choice there? Okay.
YurickYu's going to have to discard here.
Leave the card draw on top. Now, I mean, Illegalism has some powerful cards in their hand as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Joe is a very large flyer, even if your opponent has a Scourge of Frostome.
Remember, this is going to be a long matchup. Remember, this is game 1 here, and both players are 25 and 19 with a grip full of powerful cards.
So, Illegalism knows that YurickYu has that Channel of Tempest, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's why we're just not seeing the Kairos. I just want to see Kairos in play. Like, I'll be honest here. That's really what I'm after here with what's going on.
Can you wait till 12 to get it with Display of Instinct backup?
Protected? Probably not. I think the thing to do here is just play like Sandstorm Titan and protect it with the display. Mm-hmm. But also, if the threat isn't threatening enough, YurickYu can just play Scourge of Frostome, and then the game's over.
That's what I was looking at. Is YurickYu has the 10th power in hand next turn. Do they just slam Scourge of Frostome and they deal with this?
Okay, so here's the Sandstorm Titan. In this situation, I think it makes a lot of sense to just slam the Scourge of Frostome. Get that Face Aegis back. Scourge of Frostome.
Now you just shut off so much of illegal in the deck that, what can they even do here? And now you can just start picking off the threats. You can take care of the Sandstorm Titan. Even if they play the Permafrost on the 8/8, that's fine, because you can just deploy the rest of your hand, and Illegalism can't do anything about it.
Yeah, so what Illegalism can do is now can deploy the Kairos and draw 5 cards. That's how it works, right? I don't have the card mistaken. Draws and then play out units in order to kill out the Scourge. The bad news is that there's no way that Kairos can survive long.
Mm-hmm.
I think you attack the site here. No, just attacking face? Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. Kairos,
there you go.
Grand Champion.
We got it on board now.
+6 maximum power. It's a 12/14. You know what? That's actually kind of a thing, because now YurickYu can't actually kill with the Channel of Tempest. But Yurick can use the Garden of Omens and then Oh, and there's also just a Pristine Light. But I don't think you want to play a Pristine Light. You want to keep Scourge on the board.
If he was able to, if he had enough power, he had Heart of the Vault on the top, and I believe Heart of the Vault, when someone can deal 2 to the Scourge plus the 6 from Kairos to take care of it, but it's going to have to deal with the Kairos. Probably has a way to deal with the Kairos, so.
Yeah, okay, so I think you need to deal with the Kairos here. Oh, or we're just removing the Permafrost.
Okay.
Oh man, Illegalism is going to
I'm
get.
going to become a Buddhist monk. I'll be back before this match ends. Yep, this is going to be this is a long one, that's for sure.
I think that was a pretty big blunder for YurickYu. I mean, does Yurik know what Kairos does with that ability? You get +6 maximum power and has a million cards in hand.
I think now, if I'm reading this correctly, I think the play that I talked about can happen. I think you can actually don't even need to because.
Yeah, you just go to the face. You play 4 Sandstorm Titans. There's your 20 damage.
Yeah, you might not even need to. I mean, I think you can kill the Scourge if you want to, or do you have enough? Do you have enough to just go face? If 6, 7, 8, 13.
I don't think so. I don't think it's enough.
I think you do 13.
Yeah. So I mean, you just kill the Scourge and then your torch is unlocked.
Kill the Scourge, yeah. Yeah, you can play the Joes. Oh, go on face. Not going to worry about the Scourge. That's not a bad play either.
If you draw a Heart of the Vault or a Sandstorm Titan off this Heart of the Vault, it's lethal, right?
So not going after the Scourge.
6 cost Joe.
To the face. Not going to have enough. As we talked about, not going to have enough this turn. Now the awkward thing, though.
Man. Sandstorm Titan.
Yeah, but see, the tough thing is here that we talked about, they're not going to have... If Yurik can now get rid of the Kairos, your spells are still turned off and you have no way to deal damage.
I think this is a big problem.
He has Heart of the Vault off the top. He has Heart of the Vault on the top of the deck right now.
Yeah, I think Yurik's in a lot of trouble. Yurik needs to get rid of this board and somehow survive.
Has to get rid of the board and somehow has to survive the 2 from the Heart of the Vault coming next turn.
Right, or there's also a torch that's currently shut off, and I don't know how you're actually dealing with the board without a sweeper here.
Yeah. So interesting not to go after the Scourge here, but it's going to pay off for Illegalism, just doing so much damage to face that putting YurickYu in a position where they can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Can you kill your own Scourge and then Pristine Light? No,
well, if you... Yeah, I mean, Illegalism doesn't have any power here, so... Pristine Light does...
Can't...
But then Yurik doesn't have any face Aegis or any protection against Torch plus Display, right?
You don't have that. And you can get your Scourge back, but you wouldn't be able to replay it this turn. Pristine Light will take care of everything, but then you lose the Scourge and Illegalism could just go face. I don't know if that's technically a comeback, but YurickYu looked like they were in a driver's seat for a long time there.
Yeah.
And then Kairos made a real quick turn to this game.
I'll admit, this is one of my least favorite spots to be in. Like, if I'm on Illegalism's side, they make an attack like this, and it's like, well, I know you have probably Pristine Light. It could be Harsh Roll here, too. But just blocking against an opponent that you know has Pristine Light is going to get all their units back.
Yeah.
Always feels a little awkward.
We do just chump.
All right, well,
you probably don't want to chump block the Scourge there, but... Yeah.
All right.
But now, is there anything they can do to stay? Well, they can draw and try to get... All right. Drew and Aegis.
I don't think that's going to be enough, though, because Illegalism just has tons of things that go face here.
Yeah, and you can't... yeah, they've got the... We know they've got the Heart of the Vault, and they've got the Torch and the Display. Now that the Scourge is gone, they've got a lot of things opened up here.
Pock Slingshot, another card from the new set. Alright, so Illegalism is probably just going to play 2 things that go face here. Heart of the Vault.
And then they've got the burn spells to the face here. Island Squares can negate 4 more, but that's not going to be enough. Torch, you just take them out.
Yep.
Well played by both players. That was pretty grindy, but then it was long and grindy, but it ended real fast.
I'm really looking forward to game 2.
All right, let's check. While they're getting set for game 2, let's check our standings here. The other 2 matches are complete. Those were both 2-0s, so this is it here. And this should be. Are these players winning? No, they're in the lose bracket. I was going to say it's not quite a win and in because these players are both 0-1. I will
Yes.
admit, lots of respect for YurickYu for bringing this type of deck to this tournament tonight. Clearly having some fun. Got some power in this deck too, but
I mean, you have to say the same thing about Legalism, right?
absolutely.
Bringing triple Kairos and a 4th Kairos in the market.
Absolutely. I love seeing the Kairos here. Showing off the new cards. That's what this is all about, right? Having some fun, showing off some new flame cards.
So Yurick's got a hand with a lot of stuff in it, but not a ton of power. Leave a Witness. That's a really interesting one that helps further the game plan. Just protecting until Yurick can get control out and play some knuckle bones.
Absolutely. It was pretty fun to see that Kairos. Let's see if Illegalism do it again. If you can get there, play that Kairos again, follow up some units. That'll be that's a good game plan if you can get there.
Yeah, well, you get to draw a lot of cards against control. That's a huge deal.
Absolutely. And no Yetis tonight to punish these decks for going playing 8, 9, 10 drops.
It's like everyone had a gentleman's agreement not to play Yetis or anything else. I guess Gold 49 is playing Stone Scar, so they weren't involved in that, but no like Praxis tokens or anything like that.
All right, so lots of gas in both players' hand here. YurickYu going to go for the market. They're going to grab a Royal Decree. Not the best targets right now. I guess they could hit Display of Instinct. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's giving Illegalism the power that they need to get up to Kairos, which is very important.
That's true. No Kairos in hand. That's obviously what you'd want to hit with the Royal Decree here. Not honestly, there is a lot in Illegalism's hand, but nothing that you really want a Royal Decree though. Interesting.
I don't think it's
Display of Instinct that. Okay.
I don't think it's out of the question to try to go for like Howling Peak or something because the control deck has difficulty dealing with sites a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I mean, that's just kind of a value Royal Decree. I think YurickYu's probably hoping for more of a game ender, something that's really going to turn the tides. Getting a Howling Peak is nice, but it's not going to totally change the matchup. But it's not going to matter because Legalism's going to fire off one of the Display of Instincts to counter that.
All right, Yurick is at 5. Can now land the Garden of Omens. Also has an Honor of Claws to clean up the hand a little. Mm-hmm. Although each card, I think, in Yurick's hand is going to do something, so I'm not sure that's the discard. There isn't a free card to discard, which in the case of like Nyxotraxian, there often is with this deck. So
right.
Might not be the best one. Right, going to the market. Is this Kairos?
Let's see what they grab here. No, they're gonna grab the Zalchi.
So boring.
the go-to control market, the Zalchi here. They can. I'm sure they're not confident about being able to land it and then follow up with a Howling Peak to copy it. That would be too much to ask for. But one Zalchi is usually enough. But Legalism has so much removal that one Zalchi might not be enough.
Yeah, well, you do make them use at least 2 cards, right? And that's a pretty big deal. And Legalism can curve straight into that Zalchi, so it's a pretty good spot for it.
Yeah. Good point, Goldie Kimura in the chat. YurickYu is stuck on 1 Justice Influence, so they do not have access to their Pristine Lights right now.
Yeah, and if YurickYu just uses Permafrost here, it is going to be a little awkward because it's going to get copied by that. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So we're probably going to get. So we are going to see Zalchi get copied by Howling Peak.
There we go.
Pretty good value.
There's the Seek Power. Now, it might not be the end of the world here. You could do the double pristine light, so you could pristine light away the Zalchis and then pristine light away the the owls coming after.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen. The problem is that Yurk is rapidly dropping as far as life total goes, dropping down to probably 11 if there's no chump block here.
So there's the mirror image as we talked about.
This is actually super awkward. Well, okay, never mind. If it weren't for the Howling Peak, Yurk could make the play of torching the Zalchi afterward, but yeah. I don't know if I like throwing away the Merchant just to prevent 2 damage there. Like, it survives the Pristine Light, but I guess there's also Leave a Witness, right? So...
yeah, gonna do the double pristine light here.
Just getting up here.
Not really much other choice for YurickYu. Something else they could really do.
Alright, second Pristine Light, but Illegalism has an active Peaks.
Active Peaks, a backup Peaks in hands, and a Sandstorm Titan with a display of Instinct. And they're going to pop the Face Aegis here. Now YurickYu has a backup Face Aegis, but I like Illegalism's spot here. They got a lot of powerful cards. Not that YurickYu doesn't, and they have the Honor of Claws to go get more Garden of Omens. I mean, both players have pretty good hands, but I like Illegalism's side for now.
Yeah, this isn't too different from like the Alessi against Control matchup that we saw, where Illegalism can now protect their board, including a site and 2 units, with that 3-cost display of Instinct.
And who would you say has the late game here? Is this something where, I mean, both of these players are playing to the late game, but if it goes forever, Illegalism has the Kairos and the units, which we saw last game take over, but YurickYu also has a really powerful late game.
This is interesting. Display of Instinct countering the Ice Bolt? Illegalism would have gotten a power there and an extra card if they waited for Yurk to play the torch, commit to the torch.
Yep. Now they can actually, if he wants to, they can do the same play again. They can Ice Bolt, and then the torch.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Can they can equivocate if they want on here.
Yeah, I mean it's probably worth it. Like,
yeah, just
that equivocate is not going to be used offensively very much, and by the time they get a Scourge out, it's too late.
Impending Doom, not bad, not a bad one to draw.
Oh yeah, that's always like borderline constructed playable for me.
Yeah, for transforming into a random 4-drop, that's a good one to get.
Yep, it's a real threat.
I mean, YurickYu had to spend, basically a net of 2 cards on that, and then, Illegalism just trade it back into another 5/5 flyer. It's pretty good turnout.
Yeah, so here's a resurface. There's a lot of cards that YurickYu can resurface for.
A lot of things you can resurface. Also, with basically a virtual 10 power here, can get pretty much anything in the deck. We can't see.
I imagine it's just to channel the Tempest. It's the most expensive card.
Channel the Tempest seems like a good draw here. Restock the hand. Take care of either the site. Can you take care of the Doom? Probably take care of the site.
Well, the site is going to go off before that happens.
That's true.
So
that's true. Before he has a chance to. So
it's not going to matter. Equivocating again. All right.
Okay. Equivocating again. Are you going to get something better than Impending Doom? Crown Watch Trader.
That's actually a good one also. I mean, that also attacks.
I'd probably rather have the Impending Doom, but not bad.
When my opponents equivocate me with a 4-drop, I get that 0/6 that says like renowned play a relic of no consequence. All right, so here Illegalism can just activate the Caleb, and I really like doing that immediately because against a control deck, you don't know that your Caleb's going to stick around. Just clean up the hand.
Yeah.
Oh no, just playing the Crown of Trader.
Yeah.
This is going to play into YurickYu's Harsh Rule. I mean, YurickYu can go Harsh Rule into Channel the Tempest on the next turn. It's pretty potent.
And Yurik did get the Channel the Tempest from the resurface. Play out the Harsh
2 big
Rule.
threats. Might as well just fire off this Harsh Rule.
Yeah, and we were talking a few turns ago about how great Illegalism's hand looked, but now you're down to double Howling Peak Torch. That's not enough there.
Yeah, these Howling Peaks get a lot worse if their mirror image is turned off, because just based on YurickYu's deck, the gun down isn't accomplishing a whole ton. Although I suppose like jamming it here and knowing that they're going to get a Tamarisk, it's an okay spot because you know you're going to be able to use that gun down.
Yep. Drawing a Zhou is pretty good here. We know it's
Oh yeah.
just going to die on the spot, but another threat that's going to force YurickYu's hand. So not terrible.
So this is probably going to be a Caleb's favor here. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just pop the face aegis, draw another card. And what else is in the hand? Just a couple of find the ways. Yep. Yeah, it's not too useful.
Yeah, if you didn't get a chance to see the end of game 1, definitely check out the VODs tomorrow, because that was a pretty epic end to that match.
That was a pretty good one.
All right, Garden's gonna go off. Get a Tamarisk here.
Yeah, if you're YurickYu, you probably just fire out this Channelless Tempest, right?
Yep. Yeah, and especially drawing the Harsh Rule in case Illegalism drew anything.
These 3 cards not the most useful, although who knows what the contraband's going to turn up.
Yeah, not great though.
We unfortunately don't get to see the choice.
Oh, that's true. We don't get to see the choice, but we'll see the result. Yeah, not the most powerful draws here. Ooh, not bad.
All right.
Not bad
what is this? This is
5/5 flyer. Pay 7 to give it +7 this turn. Summon, kill all relics. Okay, that's a threat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something. It's a big threat. Illegalism's at 22, so it's not a one-shot kill yet. No. Unless YurickYu can get up to 14 power and then just activate it twice.
That's true. It can be activated multiple times.
All right, so here's the Howling Peak. Probably going to see a gun down here.
Yeah, this one you're probably gun down. Yeah. Keep the board clear. Keep those threats out. Thin out the deck with the Find the Ways.
Yeah, and YurickYu play this the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad that we're not getting to 14 power next turn. Ooh, Channel the Tempest. That's exactly what YurickYu wants, I'm sure.
Now, Illegalism does have the Equivocate here. You think YurickYu will go for the pump next turn and catch him with the Equivocate in response?
I think that YurickYu wants to attack down the site.
Yeah, I think YurickYu
has a lot
more patience than that anyway. Even if it was that situation, I don't think he's going to fall for that bait.
Yeah, like I think that if you can count on your opponent using the pump, it's a good idea to try to get the blowout, but it's not 100% necessary here.
They drew a Permafrost anyway, so that's not going to be necessary.
Okay. So there's a Zhou. Okay, if you're YurickYu, what do you channel here? I think you hit the site because you've got the Harsh Rule for the Zhou. Oh, just going straight for Zhou. You've got to equivocate and bounce this, right?
Yeah, I would equivocate for sure.
Well, the site gets to clean up your hand because you get a Caleb, which there's nothing that can stop you from activating the Caleb and just like refreshing your hand.
Once it's out, you can't stop it before it activates. Fair.
It's not really going to matter here because YurickYu is just going to redraw this Channel the Tempest. Yeah. And it's just gross.
Yeah, can hit that out now. Let's see what Island's Choice is going to do here. Looks like it draws another Zhou and a Great Kiln Titan. Or the Great Kiln Titan was on the Equivocate. So Great Kiln Titan. We've seen some good Equivocate draws here.
Well, when you get to the point where you're equivocating Zhou, most 8-drops are
true.
Good. Like there are a lot of 8-drops out there, but the 8-drops tend to be really good.
That's true.
Yeah. You could hit something like Azendel or something like that, which is very, very strong. Okay, here we go. Just replay the Zhou.
This is going to and pass.
This is going to get stopped by something. I think that YurickYu is in pretty good control here, getting to draw an additional 3 cards and having answers to most of the things that Illegalism can do.
Interesting off the Zhou. You did have enough power to hit the site and play the Harsh Rule if you wanted.
Yeah.
Now the site, I believe, is definitely going to go off, right? There's nothing YurickYu can do to stop the site.
Yes.
And as you said, if Illegalism wants, can activate the Caleb right away.
Yes, and I think that's well, the Great Kiln Titan and the Howling Peak, they're pretty good.
They are pretty good.
Let's see. But with this much power, I mean, it depends on what the draw is. If the draw is Karos, just slam Karos. Oh, we're just gonna see a Great Kiln Titan. So something that
the draw was a display of instinct there.
Oh, that's even better because that can protect the board. But something that Illegalism could have done is could have mirror imaged the Caleb and then immediately drawn with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you still get to play your site and you get a handful of new cards. This is pretty good too, though. I mean, display of instinct.
That harsh rule is really good there. And YurickYu's hand, while he has a ton of gas and honestly, the hand looks. I believe the hand of YurickYu's looks better than it actually is, if that makes sense. I mean, he's got a lot of gas here, but none of it really matches up. You needed that harsh rule to stick. Legalism, being able to pass back to Illegalism, being able to play whatever they want, and really, you just have a Zhou and some removal. You got some card draw. You gotta hope the Honor of Claws pulls out something here, but you know.
Oh man,
your
are we seeing
Defiance is not going to do anything here.
Double Great Kiln Titan. Oh, gun down?
Gun down, followed up by a torch to take care of the Zhou.
Illegalism smells blood.
Yeah, and that's they're swinging 4 lethal. Now YurickYu has the Defiances, but just to stabilize and stay alive. But what are they going to do next turn? They have to draw something off of Honor of Claws here.
Yeah. Are we going to see a Karos? Karos draws 9 cards with Great Kiln Titan. I want to see this happen. Make this happen, players.
There's the Karos in hand.
YurickYu is going to have to find a sweeper here. Otherwise, I think the game's just over. So this is a good start. Drawing 3. Can draw another 3. Does YurickYu still have Royal Decree? No.
They used it at the very beginning. I don't believe they have a second copy because I believe it was out of the market. A torch and a garden.
Okay, so getting a second garden is not bad because you can at least Ice Bolt the Great Kiln Titan and prevent them from drawing 7 cards. Yeah. Drawing 4 cards is a lot better for you than them drawing 7 cards.
Take care of that and you can torch the Hurler.
Yeah, but you can't unless they twist Tokus for some reason. You still can't protect the site.
Right now, what is Island's favor is cost 4 more. Tokus costs 3, so dodges the Island's favor.
Oh, did Yurik not be able to draw a Primal Sigil there? That's rough. So if you're Illegalism here, you just go for the mirror image on something, right? Yeah. Card drawn in Sandstorm Titan, so you don't need to clean up your hand. You can just get a second Caleb, right?
Yeah, I would just
5/5.
Caleb, yep.
Get to draw 5 cards with this Karos. And then immediately play Sandstorm Titan to hit whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, the other idea would be to pop the Face Aegis to try to go lethal with Kairos, but I think it makes more sense to get the mirror image.
Oh, well, Yurik's at 8. That's pretty low, although they do have a bunch of defensive elements in hand to be able to protect from the attack. All right. Come on, Kairos. We want Kairos. Oh, what? Redrawing the Kairos?
Redrawing with Caleb with a Kairos and a Sandstorm Titan in hand.
Do you think that was a misclick? Because if you accidentally click on that Caleb, it doesn't give you any option. It just immediately redraws it for you.
Wow, what a decision. I hate to question decisions because I never know what's going through the player's head, but that seems aggressive with the Kairos and a Sandstorm Titan in hand.
I suspect that was actually just a misclick. So now Illegalism has a Heart of the Vault, and 2 blanks.
Permafrost and a... That has to be... Yeah, I agree. That has to be a misclick. Now, they're still in good position, but they basically had game there. Ooh, harsh rule here.
Oh no. And YurickYu doesn't even need to resurface, just has the harsh rule on top. But it's going to resurface for end of the story
off the top. Oh no.
My goodness. I think that blunder is going to cost Illegalism the game. I think it was looking really good with the Karos in hand.
Yeah.
But now Yurk just has so much. Yurk is at 5 and doesn't have a face Aegis.
Draws
So the game's not
Sky
over.
King, though. That's going to help.
Yeah, the window is rapidly closing.
Ooh, Heart of the Vault. Heart of the Vault, 2 to the face. Can they draw something?
Torch or Display does it here.
Torch or Display does it. That's true.
Waiting with bated breath.
Oh,
it's just
Permafrost. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. They did draw Kairos, though.
The meltdown, the Permafrost gets immediately melted down by the last mode on the Garden of Omens. So if YurickYu has the awareness to just go for Sword of the Sky King here and not do anything too fancy with Joe, I think Yurik is safe because you can Island's Choice the Heart of the Vault, or you can just sweep the Heart of the Vault. That works too. Yeah.
Okay, gonna kill the site.
Yeah, and just protect yourself with the with the armor from the Sword of the Sky King.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, gonna go up to 9 now, and that's gonna be a lot harder to burn out from 9.
Well, this Karos only costs 7. Like Karos into Sandstorm Titan into Karos.
Or
notably,
how do you like Karos into Karos?
Oh my goodness, is that? Oh my gosh, that is a second Karos. Wait, are you sure that's accurate? That Karos should cost 9, shouldn't it?
I believe he played the one that cost 9, and this one cost 7.
Oh, I see. And then, okay. So Illegalism drew a Karos for the turn and played it, and now has a Karos backup to draw 12 cards and deal 12. I think this is just going to be lethal. If YurickYu can't deal with this Karos and Illegalism doesn't attack with the Karos so it doesn't get hit by Island's Choice, that's just game,
yeah,
right?
There's no reason to attack before.
I guess drawing 12 cards is irrelevant when you just get to oh my goodness, this is wild!
Polymorph! Unreal!
YurickYu activating Blitrock 3 times to get the invoke and drawing the polymorph. Yurik needed in order to not die to Karos. Oh my gosh.
What a game.
Yeah, now Illegalism just has Kairos. Is this going to be enough?
Now they just have Kairos and a Seek Power in hand.
Oh my gosh. What does Draw Ice Heart do? Okay, Draw Ice Heart's not hitting. Oh, here's double Genev Merchant. Is there something in the market that will do it? Display of Honor?
Display of Honor.
+8. And then double activate the Blitrock. I think that's going to be the game. Oh my goodness.
Oh my, or just turn it into a goat. That's not lethal, but that's...
yeah, it is lethal also. That also works.
Yep, that is too. Yep, turn it into a goat and just go from there. Oh my goodness, what a game.
Yeah, that was wild.
Wow. That's game 2, everyone.
All right, we're going to get to see a game 3. How great is that?
Oof. The players need a breather after that one. Unreal. Oh, I feel so bad though that they having the match win in hand. It's got to be a misclick. Oof. That's got to feel bad. But now you're 1-1. You got to take a deep breath there and not let it beat you twice, right? That's what I say. Don't let a mistake beat you twice. It happened.
Sorry, I muted the wrong thing. I apologize.
That's all right. Illegalism's got to now take a breath, forget the mistake, and win game 3. All right, so YurickYu in hand. It's got Cargo, Harsh Rule, Honor of Claws, Garden, and a Torch. Not a bad starting hand, but needs some power. Illegalism's got Hurler, Snowball, Titan, Display of Instinct, Strategize, and Howling Peak. So both players in a similar slot with none of their haymakers, but a lot of their solid setup cards. I'm a little bit worried about YurickYu's power situation, but I drew a power there, and they have the cargo, so they're going to be able to get out of it here.
Yeah, able to get up to Honor of Claws, which should be enough to get whatever they need.
Yeah, throw a Hurler to the bottom. Legum's going to strategize, see a Zhou, and an Equivocate.
Yeah, can put the Snowball on bottom.
Snowball or the Hurler, yeah.
This looks like a really good hand from Illegalism, provided there's enough power. I mean, right now only has the third power, but does have Treasure Trove in order to try to draw out of it.
Yeah, I said I was worried about YurickYu's power, but you see the same thing on Illegalism's hand. Now they did see the crest, and they do have the sigil and the Treasure Trove, so... Valkamir says, who's the other caster? Well, I'm not sure who the other caster is, but it's me, Telemokos, and Sunnyvale.
the person whose channel it isn't, I suppose.
All right, fair enough. All right, YurickYu going to continue hitting out power, going to see a Zhou, and they're going to leave it on top. Illegalism also hitting another power, so both players are, I would say, fortunate off the top of their deck that they're going to hit their smooth power draws, so this can be a game. Neither one's going to stub their toe here, so that'll be good.
Yeah, and yeah, that's really good because I mean, if one person just doesn't do anything and die, that's really lost value on how sweet those first two games were.
Absolutely. Illegalism is going to start out the action with a Sandstorm Titan. And YurickYu is going to follow up with the action with the Ice Bolt. In matchups like this, do you want to be the first one to throw a punch with the Sandstorm Titan, or do you want to be in YurickYu's spot and be the second one and have the react?
Hey, if my hand's short on power and my opponent Ice Bolts me on turn 4, I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, getting that power helps, but now they have an active Gardens and you have no threats on board, and presumably your opponent has a lot of removal.
Well, you just wait a few turns and then you Display of Instinct it. Or you could display it now. That works too.
Sure. Prevent the resurface.
Yeah, and prevent them from just like playing their Honor of Claws and Treasure Troves for a discount.
I'm going to fire off Honor of Claws here. Going to get rid of the Zhou.
Yeah, I think Zhou, as powerful as the effect is, I think it's really clunky for things like this. You want your...
I can draw another one anyway.
Yeah, you want your power available, and you want to be able to play... Like, if you have to use all of your power to play a Scourge of Frostdome, that's fine. They're not going to be able to do anything about it. But, like, Zhou might just get equivocated, and then they might get on the board even more. Because I feel like a lot of the time these types of matchups with both players have sights comes down to board presence and making sure that you have pressure and preventing your opponent from just playing a sight.
And notably, the Zhou is also 4 time, so even though YurickYu's at 6, they're really not close to casting it anyway.
Yeah. Hidden Shiv.
Not exactly the the random card draw you want off that, but...
I predict that we're going to see this Hidden Shiv do some surprising amount of work here.
All right, gonna fetch another garden.
Like, it's going to be a surprise +1 damage that Yurick needs to take down a site or something like that.
And if not, it'll be merchant fodder.
So we're probably going to see the gun down being used here. Yeah, just to pop the Aegis.
Ooh, take a look at Illegalism's hand. You got 2 Zhous, a bunch of removal, and you've got Kairos in hand as well.
Yeah. Here, you kind of just have to throw down a Zhou, right? Like, you don't have too many other options. Yeah. You could gamble on the Treasure Trove to see if you hit anything nice.
I think so. I don't think it's always a feel bad throwing down the Zhou when you absolutely know it's going to get removed, but I think you have to.
Well, here, the plan might be to combine Ice Bolt with the with this merchant attack. Oh, nope. Okay, so Ice Bolt on the Zhou again, which means that Legalism is going to get another power. I'm totally happy. Like, in a deck that plays that plays Kairos. If I just have 14 power, I'm pretty happy with it because that means I get to play Kairos and Sandstorm Titan in the same turn, which means
I
I
mean,
get to
it's
draw
not
5
quite
cards.
a 3-for-1, but yeah, I mean, using 2 removal spells, one of them being an Ice Bolt, so you effectively using 2 of your cards and giving them a land or giving them a power is, it's
This is
not a
also
bad
pretty nice
situation.
for This is also pretty nice for Illegalism, getting to use the snowball to finish off the site.
Mm-hmm. Drawing a
Torches
second
can't.
Kairos in hand, so double Kairos now in hand with a Heart of the
Oh
Vault out on the board.
yeah. I have a hard time imagining that this Heart of the Vault is going to survive, but that unless you can do something about it, that Caleb's going to come down from his Howling Peak, and that means that Illegalism is going to be able to draw a few cards with Kairos. And I think once that train leaves the station, there's no stopping it.
Now, Yurick does have 2 rats in hand, but once that, like you said, once that train gets going, it's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, well, so imagine that Yurick is the sequence plays out the way I imagined it. Oh,
Well,
oh,
third
jeez,
rat
oh no, I think you need to take down the site. Okay,
Okay.
I guess here's a good opportunity to play Pristine Light and draw back that merchant.
Well,
and kill
yeah,
the...
you're going to play Merchant anyway. You could. Oh, Royal
Oh,
Decree.
Yurick has
Gonna
other
take the
plans.
Kairoses?
Oh no!
Oh,
No!
no!
Okay, all is not lost because Illegalism still has the market Kairos. So all Illegalism needs to do is draw off this Caleb, find the
That's true.
merchants.
They do have the market Kairos. That is a good point. Clutch Royal Decree there for YurickYu.
That was a really heads up play. Also, what I was suggesting was not going to be nearly as good as that. All right, another Howling Peak. I think you just copy the Heart of the Vault here. Although that might get Ice Bolted. I think you have to Ice Bolt this, no? Alright, so Legalism is going to get... I guess it does make sense, because now YurickYu can just use the Sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Gonna block
Jump
here.
block
You
here.
could take the 6, but gonna block there. They're gonna use one of the sweepers anyway.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a big deal, because since Illegalism didn't draw off of the Caleb, their hand is not very impressive. They've got a Joe, but that's about it. They've got a Joe that they can protect with Kovacade, and that's about it.
That'd be
So,
interesting if they used Caleb there to try to dig for a merchant for that Kairos.
yeah, just dig for a couple other threats. So YurickYu's going to Harshal here. Still, or Pristine Light, sure. Mm-hmm. Still is going to have to deal with the site. That's not a given. We're going to equivocate something.
Yep.
Okay, get 6 back in hand.
Equivocate back one of the Heart of the Vaults, which is going to become a Plated Goliath.
That's a 7/5 overwhelm.
Yeah. Not a ton of value there. Another Pristine Light draw for YurickYu. So YurickYu's got Pristine Light, end of the story, and Harsh Rule. Really doesn't care about any units out on the field, especially a Plated Goliath that doesn't give you any value. Being able to activate that Caleb and having a handful of power and kind of middle body threats isn't exactly what Illegalism wants here.
Yeah, the good news is that Yurick doesn't have an answer for the site, so Illegalism's just going to have another opportunity to do that. And
I guess Illegalism, if they want, can start putting out these units and just basically demand answers from YurickYu. He knows he has them, but force him to use them. Force Yurick to answer the creatures on the board, answer the units on the board, so that your site can go off and you can activate Caleb.
Yeah, I like this. You're just using the most expensive card because there's nothing else they really want to play this turn. All right, there's the Plated Goliath.
There's the Plated Goliath. Again, force YurickYu to answer it.
Yeah, and ooh.
Connect.
Well, you probably play the Harsh Rule first, right? Or the Pristine Light or something like that.
Sure that this can't kill the site this turn does not look like it.
Getting to invoke a second time is pretty interesting. Oh, this is actually kind of heads up. So
Okay.
Yurk didn't fire off a harsh roll because they're going to have the opportunity to do that here for the Caleb, and also having Ellen's choice for the Plague Goliath, just in case
And of
Yurk
course,
changes their mind.
Illegalism draws the
Oh my
merchant that
goodness.
turn.
Okay, so we're going to see 7 cards
So
going
not gonna
Illegalism's
knock
way.
all that, and then not gonna activate Caleb again because it was able to get the Caleb here, or to get the merchant
Well, I
here.
mean, drawing 7 cards with Kairos is
Yeah, not
probably a
bad.
little better than,
Not bad.
yeah. Even discarding to hand size because of too many cards in hand.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Illegalism's going to lose this entire board
Yep.
to a harsh roll. And Illegalism doesn't have Kairoses to draw in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to win off of Heart of the Vault and the Market Zalchi.
Yeah,
which
this is tough because you're right. They're gonna get swept here, and there's no more Kyroses left. So what that means is whatever threats you basically see here, like you said, plus the Zalchi, is really all that Illegalism has to end this game. YurickYu has Channel the Tempest and other ways to end. But this is it for Illegalism. He's got a couple more bodies like this, Heart of the Vaults, Joe's, and a Zalchi, but running out of ways to actually finish the game and deal the last points of damage here.
Yeah, well, Heart of the Vault is a nice start. Probably just deciding whether to try to hit Blitrock because of how badly Blitrock blew Illegalism out last game.
Clutch of Talons. That's a great card too.
Yeah, it is. YurickYu is at 12. So it's not inconceivable for Illegalism to find all the burn necessary to take down from that life total. Ooh. Illegalism has their power drop, right? I like Heart of the Vault into copy Heart of the Vault. I like that a lot. YurickYu is not messing around, taking out the Blitrock this time.
I like YurickYu with all the foil legendaries here. Another one with Clutch of Dragons here, Clutch of Talons.
Yeah. Well, Yurick's been around for a really long time, so I'm sure they've built up all of this in the collection.
Absolutely. Probably got more Shiftstone than he knows what to do with.
Well, that is a very difficult point to get to because I have not gotten there yet.
I think there was a Reddit post the other day with a screenshot of their deck, and in the background you see like 200,000 Shiftstone or something, and all the Reddit comments were, "Wow, nice Shiftstone, buddy."
Well, that actually gets eaten up pretty quickly. If you each premium legendary is roughly 10,000 Shiftstone. Yeah. So if you actually just make 5 playsets of premium legendary cards, that's 200,000.
Yeah.
All right, so YurickYu's going to clean up the board and pass it back.
All right, good key display of instinct here. Now, is this gonna? It seems like a good card here for Illegalism, being able to counter something and also have 4 more damage to the face if needed. YurickYu, is it? 10?
Yeah, it's going to be really good at protecting against the Channel the Tempest, right?
Yep. There you go. Someone in chat. Nice. 500,000 Shiftstone. Beautiful.
Yeah, crafting premiums is one heck of a draw. One heck of a drug. All right, so double Tokus, triple Tokus.
Triple Tokus for Illegalism. He says, "You've used so many sweepers." Illegalism.
Yeah, no harsh rules in YurickYu's deck, right? Just the 5-cost harsh rules and the one other one. Illegalism's going to equivocate.
This Tokus here into a Thunderclaw Raven. It's probably not going to do much here.
It's 2-1. Yeah, it's just going to die to a snowball. Yeah. I don't. Illegalism didn't get a power, right? Illegalism's just out, right?
I believe so. Yes.
No more power. All right. Well, YurickYu has Channel the Tempest. Probably going to get hit by display here.
Yep, it's going to get countered by display. Did draw the face Aegis though, so that's going to help a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, Illegalism gets to just attack with these Tokuses.
Is this lethal? How much can you?
Well, it can attempt to be lethal. It's not going to work out because of the island's choice. But forcing them to use an island's choice on Tokus instead of something like
force strength more. Yeah.
Joe is certainly happy. And YurickYu's getting into the danger zone where just a Zalchi from the market is lethal. And Illegalism just doesn't have much power left in their deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, gonna pop the Face Aegis with the Snowball.
That's an interesting thing to do first. Maybe that was checking for a fast spell.
Could be. Now,
and it doesn't look like there's a fast spell, but there is, because it only works on the attack.
If you wanted to twist, you could twist both of them kind of evenly, have one of them eat the island's choice, but the other one gets through.
Yeah, I think going 5 and 5 here makes a lot of sense. Or just going 4 and 4 also makes a lot of sense, because then you have the torch to finish it off.
There you go. There's the 5 and 5. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make this attack,
I
right?
think you do, absolutely. I think you make the attack and you assume that they have a way to deal with one of them, which they do.
Yeah, and if not, you win.
Right.
All right, so there's
the island's choice. Going to put YurickYu down to 5, a virtual 2 with the torch in hand.
Yeah, and it's really not difficult to imagine Illegalism being able to assemble this. I mean, all they need to do is click the... Well, play the torch first, then click the... then kick... Jeez, I cannot talk. Click the Caleb button.
Yeah, this time you actually want to click the Caleb button to make sure. YurickYu going to draw a Garden of Omens, but I don't think, you can Ice Bolt something, but that's not going to... You can Ice Bolt the Titan and finish it off with a Snowball, but then you just die to the Tokas here.
Yeah, I don't think we're even getting to... I don't think we're even going to get to the point where Illegalism needs to dig with the Caleb. I think that this attack is going to be lethal.
I don't think YurickYu could do anything here. They can go with the Garden, but that only gets rid of one of the 2 threats on board. Yep, and that's it. Wow, what a match between these 2 players. Whew. Congrats to Illegalism for fighting through it, even after that second game. What a match. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that round as much